Alrighty, why does this Google VO3 give you a failed generation? I'm going to try again. This time, again, I'm doing VO3 quality, this one, beta, text to video, and I'll read you the snippet as it creates because I'm trying to create something pretty cool, I think. Okay, what's this failed generation? Anyway, I realize consistent characters are just not an easy thing. So, what I'm doing is creating a lot of different characters to put together in one kind of long video. I mean, if I can get 2 minutes, it'll be great. It's going to be called 12 Angry Cops, the Honest Police Presser. 12 police officers of all races, genders, ages, shapes, and sizes stand at the front of a crowded room behind a podium. A much larger gaggle of media people of all ages, races, and genders fill the room. Plenty of videographers hold iPhones recording the police officers. Professional reporters are behind their large broadcast cameras aimed at the police personnel. The makeshift indoor press room is bright, noisy, and the reporters are chomping at the bit to ask their questions. Cop number one holds up his hands to quiet the room and points at a lady in the front row. She holds a notebook and leans forward. The crowd grows quiet. She says it's been 3 weeks since this mysterious murderer has been on the run. Are you any closer to finding the person? Now, the reason is I gave them a lot of detail about how I want the room to look. But I only gave them a short amount of words to speak because if it's only 8 seconds long, we're at 55% now. If it's only 8 seconds long, I noticed like if I started giving her a soliloquy, a whole paragraph to say, it would cut off. So I can give them detailed descriptions, but when it's time to speak, and they don't always speak if I try and do the continue the story type of thing. I could show you that too from what I was doing yesterday. This I'm going to stick with multiple characters since they can't get the same character correct usually. I'll show you what I was creating yesterday. It turned out pretty interesting, but just still not totally what I wanted. Maybe I'm getting closer. So at first, this one, yeah. Was this the first one? Yeah. Because this was the second one. So I gave it a detailed description of this woman I wanted sitting in bed. And I said she was 56 years old, so they put 56 back there. But to me, it's like they created a woman who looks like 70 years old.
Mommy's AI makeover.
I was like, whoa, she looks a lot older than a 56-year-old. But they did good with, how I described her sitting up in bed. I mean, they put nice jewelry on her. I said put twist in her long hair, and that's kind of cool. And I described the flat screen TV and the suburban look. So that's cool, but I was like, whoa, she looks older than 56. So I had to redo it and say, okay, make her 36. Isn't that wild? Okay, they redid it. She looks a little bit younger to me. That's better. And oh, they still put the 56 right there. And I think they even put the there was a hummingbird. I think they put that on the TV, but they did put the cars going by, suburban neighborhood. And then I was like, show the words on the screen. I wanted to show words on the screen that said something like Mommy's AI makeover, but they they show the MacBook, that's cool, but they show her taking the screen off the MacBook, and then I'm like, where did her clothes go? All of a sudden, she doesn't have anything on. And I did a continue, which I can show you how to do that. Oh, cool. Oh, this is looking pretty good. Let's see. I always like to download it first, upscaled, and make sure I have it. Okay, so did they give me 12 cops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know if the other ones are cops. Maybe they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, there's another one. Let's just see if the sound is there.
All right, settle down, settle down. You, in the front.
It's been 3 weeks since this mysterious murderer has been on the run. Are you any closer to finding the person?
All right, settle down, settle down. You, in the front.
Oh, that's pretty good. Now, I didn't even tell them to say settle down, but they have the cops saying settle down. He holds up his hands to quiet the room and points at a lady in the front. Hey, this is pretty good. Pretty good. And if we want to continue, technically this is supposed to work. Okay, add to scene. This wasn't necessarily working yesterday. Okay, go here. And then we should be able to say extend. What should happen next, right? So I want him to say something snarky. I want to download this, by the way. I want this speaker to say something snarky. So let's see. You know, it's supposed to be kind of like what cops are really thinking. So she's saying, it's been 3 weeks since this mysterious murderer has been on the run. Are you any closer to finding the person? Can I say like, cop answers her? Let's see, he's going to say something snarky like, hey, you're the investigative journalist. Why haven't you found the murderer? Okay. Cop answers her, hey, you're the investigative journalist. Why haven't you found the murderer? So I'll describe him again as cop number 1. Hopefully that'll... See, it always does this. It has to switch back to VO2 in order to speak, which I don't quite understand, because why can't I keep it here? Or even here? It doesn't make sense. But I'll leave it at that and see if it'll speak. This is supposed to be a way we're helping it with the scene builder with continuity. In the meantime, while it's doing that, I'll show you more of kind of like my fails or what I was creating yesterday. So after that woman was in bed, I did a scene extension and they totally changed the character and they kind of left the woman in bed. So I was trying to say this same woman gets out of bed and says, the answer came to me straight from heaven that day. These words on the screen are horrible. They cannot spell. They're always coming out wrong. There's a way that people can take those words off the screen, and I need to learn how to do that. I'm going to have to find it. Oh, look, we're ready. Okay. Oh, it might have worked. Let's look. Nope. Like it kept her.
All right, settle down, settle down. You, in the front.
It's been 3 weeks since this mysterious murderer has been on the run. Are you any closer to finding the person?
See, it just can't.
All right, settle down, settle down. You.
It's just not doing what it's supposed to do. So one thing I could do is keep this whole thing. I mean, I always like to save the failures and everything. At least it kept the continuity. Look, the characters are consistent. And one thing I could do, I might try it again, because what I'm thinking is, however I download the entire, export failed. Like, see, there's so many, like, for those of us paying, what, $133 a month, it's too many errors for this. But I might not delete it, because I do like that they kept the consistency from here to here. The same people are there. So what I could always do is pull the whole thing, however I download the whole thing, into, iMovie or Final Cut Pro, and then overlay the voices with voices I use from 11 Labs, I feel like we shouldn't have to do that. I wonder what would happen if I tried it again. The same prompt or a different prompt. Let's see. And if we did extend, what should happen next? Cop number 1 shakes his head at this reporter and says, I need to save my prompts so I don't have to retype them. Hey, you're the investigative journalist. You find the murderer. I don't understand why it can't figure out how to keep speaking. Fine, it has to go to 2 for some reason to extend. And I'm going to save it. It helps if you save your prompts. I mean, the main thing is, I know what I meant to do. You know what I'm going to do? We'll see what happens here, but what I'm going to do is I'll probably end up just creating my 8-second videos. I don't know, but will it keep...
All right, settle down. You, in the front.
See, he doesn't even, speak correctly on time.
All right, settle down. You, in the front.
It's been 3 weeks since this mysterious murderer has been on the run. Are you any closer to finding the person?
I mean, I like the fact that, they have all the cops. It's a crowded room. I said there were people with, iPhones and broadcast cameras but I was going to create maybe separate 8-second ones. But if I go create a separate one, I don't know, it'll speak. Most likely it'll speak. Let's see what it did now. Did it just do the exact same thing?
All right, settle down. You, in the front.
It's been 3 weeks since this mysterious murderer has been on the run. Are you any closer to finding the person?
So I could overlay that with some words where it's silent. And now it's silent some more, but I think I want to save it because I think every single generation...
All right, settle down.
Wait, let's see, will that work? And when that exports like that, I'm assuming it exports all 8 seconds, 8 seconds, 8 seconds. Hopefully I'll have a 24-second video. Export failed. Like, why is it doing that? And earlier it was failing, and it doesn't tell you why. That'll be part of my title too, probably. Failed generation, export failed. Like, it's a lot more problems than I thought it would be. What if I only do that? Will that download? So yeah, it should be a 24-second video. 24-second total video. Why does it say 21? It's like they're only 7 seconds long. Okay, finally, download. And did I download this one? Let's dismiss. I don't even know if I downloaded this one. We got that one. Oh, it did download the whole 22-second thing. Okay. So.
All right, settle down.
Use
You, in the front.
It's been 3 weeks since this mysterious murderer has been on the run. Are you any closer to finding the person?
And I'll just overlay maybe her entire voice, have her make up some stuff that might match this, or even do a separate narrator voiceover explaining what she's talking about. It doesn't even go back to the cop. We just need more, I don't know. We need more instructions. I'm afraid to say jump to. Oh, I know what. Okay, let's see. Jump to. Oh boy, this is what happens when the scene jumps to. Okay, that's the first frame. It's like we're on our own trying to figure this out. Someone said give it the entire description again to help it stay consistent. Now let's just say we're going to try and get him to speak again. Like, what do we have to do? Hey, will it work though? At least it took the prompt. Will it keep the people or similarly looking people? We shall see. I mean, it did well enough with this one. You know, it was this little scene I did. This woman.
Officer, I am so sorry. I didn't see the sign. Is there any way I can just get a warning this time? I promise it won't happen again.
So it kept her pretty consistent. And then, see, she looks really similar. But it didn't do the voice. She was supposed to be saying something. So I had to like use a narrator in the background. And then it totally changed her. So I was like, oh.
If you turn off that body cam video and forget you ever saw me, you will never forget me. I promise.
I like his reaction. And they have his body cam, and this was cool, but she totally doesn't look like the first woman, so it helps me change my whole script up. It became a flashback to like this woman thinking about how her mom used to get out of tickets. And then it created this nice little scene. It has no words though, so it just shows the guy opening the back seat, and presumably she's riding in there with two cops. It kind of helped me write the scene because unexpected stuff was like, okay.
And this pretty woman just found out that beauty is only skin deep.
I noticed the characters do that a lot, like Sims or whatever. The AI characters just walk around like they don't know where they're going. But of course she looks different here. She's supposed to be this same woman here. But here at least she had on sunglasses and was out in the sun. I was like, okay, it's passable. Now she has her sunglasses off. She's inside and she's realizing she couldn't get away with a ticket like her mom used to. So the changing character looks kind of help with the storyline, although I mean this was totally different, you know. This woman looks nothing like this woman. She was supposed to be her. I was just like, have this woman get out of bed. And so they created this woman, and I was like trying to say have this same woman. Anyway, do we have more? What happened? Is that this? It's still only 21 seconds. It didn't generate. I did a jump to. That didn't work at all. Should I not do... Maybe just do another extend? Maybe it can't remember cop number 1. Yeah, I don't know. You'd think it would remember. Whoa. Whoa. Wait. I'm putting it in the wrong place. Gotta make sure I'm here, I guess. Whoa. Okay. Saving frame as asset. I haven't had that help at all. Now, if this doesn't create, I'm just going to, because this should make it almost 30 seconds if it does it correctly. So, and while we're waiting, we'll look at more fails, kind of fails. One thing I noticed is they don't want to use the likeness of any real person, even though people are creating that Will Smith, eating spaghetti. I don't know how they did that. But this was supposed to be Bryan Kohberger, the accused Idaho 4 killer. So I had it create, a guy driving, dark hair, breathing heavily. But I know they had some kind of error about using like the name of a real person. But it didn't, and they won't use like the real house where the crime took place, so it looks nothing like that. And there was another one, oh, there it is. See, he was driving a white Elantra, like Bryan Kohberger. In Moscow, Idaho, but that house looks nothing like the house in question. So reality. Okay, we've got more here. Good. Let's see what happens. No audio. And they totally switched the location.
All right, settle down, settle down. You, in the front.
It's been 3 weeks since this mysterious murderer has been on the run. Are you any closer to finding the person?
Maybe I'll just have her go on and say something different. I mean, I think obviously we're going to have to use 11 labs. So it totally switched up the character. I want to download that too.
All right, settle down, settle down. You.
I don't know why the audio always works generally on the first 8 seconds. So I just exported. Am I only exporting that part? That's what I get confused about too. We'll see what we have. In the meantime, I'll show you this woman. When I was creating this character, I was like, oh, she could be Halle Berry's twin, and they're like, no, so you can't like name a celebrity or a real person. But I do like what they did with this. I mean, I just feel like if we could just keep some consistent characters, that would be wonderful. Okay, video exported, download. Now, let's see what I just downloaded. Was it just the 8 seconds? Where is it? Or was it the 29-second video? Oh, okay. So it does download the whole 30-second video.
All right, settle down, settle down. You, in the front.
It's been 3 weeks since this mysterious murderer has been on the run. Are you any closer to finding the person?
I'll just make up something where she's still giving them a hard time. And, that they haven't made progress. And he'll say something there, obviously. And then they switch to these guys, which looks nothing like the other guys they jumped to. Did I do a jump to? I thought I did an extend. Like I thought, if you're saying extend the scene, it could figure out that you want to use these same characters. But I guess not. But at least I have the whole 30 seconds there. Now, okay. Do I have to do an entirely new text to video? Use the same prompt here. And then at a female reporter, I'll just say, but will she look anything like the other woman? See, this is the dilemma. And just start over, and will I get the audio this time? Why does the audio fall off after the first 8? I mean, I know hopefully it'll improve eventually. They're still working on this, but so I've got my 8-second one. I have my, I mean, nothing's really a fail. This is totally a fail here, though. This, I don't even know if I did this using VO3, but I was trying to write the story of Cain killing Abel. It was like no sound, so that was kind of crazy. I like the way this cop one came out, so I'm learning. This was one. I might have done this on Gemini. Oh, we got music. Rahab and the Spies. That's another thing. You might have unexpected music. And then this one was crazy. Me first trying, like I showed you. Sometimes audio, sometimes not. In the church, and they were saying weird things. And I was just saying, he was saying, be ye filled with the Holy Spirit. And then getting this woman to look consistent. See, she's changing up a little. Her hair's a little shorter. They changed the whole congregation in church, and now she's wearing that. And then she's going out. This one did have audio. I thought, oh, this was funny. God, do with me what you will. Now she looks totally different. And she's gonna run into it. Now she's different there. And she's gonna turn around. And what does that mean? I mean, it just has the weirdest thing. And she turned around and ran into herself. So, even though people are saying, you know, creating AI videos is so easy, it really isn't. I think this one has sound.
A reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength.
Yeah, I don't even remember putting that audio in there. But that's pretty cool the way they created this. I just didn't like, you know, sometimes you create stuff and I was like, oh, I don't like her wearing that white dress like that. So I gave it more and more details. Here we go. Oh, that looks better. I think he's more consistent. And the main thing is, will we have, now all the cops are back there, but will we have audio?
Hey, you're the investigative journalist. You find the murderer.
Hey, that's cool. So they changed the woman. So what I can end up doing is adding it to scene and deleting the other stuff. So I think this might actually work if I say add to scene. It's going to need help. At least we got some audio. I can keep his voice. His voice sounds consistent. I think this might work.
All right, settle down, settle down. You, in the front.
It's been 3 weeks since this mysterious murderer has been on the run. Are you any closer to finding the person?
So I can have her talking, saying something, and I can try and get a match to his voice, saying something smart back to her. Let's download the whole thing, I hope. Have them like giving a news quote or whatever. I didn't expect these guys, but might as well use them. And she could be saying something.
You're the investigative journalist. You find the murderer. All right, settle.
Yeah, so it kind of could work. Did I download that? Got to remember everything I'm downloading. Question is, where is it? And is it as long as I think it is. I think we're over 30 seconds now for everything I've created for that 12 Angry Cops presser. So is it this one? And let's see how let me make sure this is the right one. Nope, it should be more than that. It should be 38 seconds, right? So maybe I only downloaded the snippet. Download 12 police officers. We know it's going to be named 12. 12 angry. Why do we still only have 8 seconds? I'm looking. 12, 12, 12, 12. See, something is not right here. I want to download the entire, maybe because I need to export this. So I like that this guy, this captain or whomever, looks pretty consistent to that guy, even though the room has changed. I could pretend this is a different day or something like that. Maybe I could, it helps me switch up my script. So let's see. 38, wait. I know I'm downloading this. What is happening? 30. 22, 30. Isn't it longer? Why doesn't it have the rest of it? I mean, there's not a 30-second. What is happening? I'm trying to get the entire thing downloaded with that part too. I mean, isn't that what I downloaded? Maybe I needed to dismiss this part with the black female reporter at the end. I can pretend it's a different day. So it kind of helps you. Yeah, it should be 37 seconds total. This thing gets confusing. We need, I guess, to just do it trial and error. That's why I'm like teaching how to create AI generated videos. It's not easy to download. Now I'm looking for something. Oh, duh, I was overlooking it. I thought it was named 12 when it's named June. Where the heck? 38. There we are. Okay. I just wanted to see how closely this guy will resemble the guy at the end.
All right, settle down, settle down. You, in the front.
It's been 3 weeks since this mysterious murderer has been on the run. Are you any closer to finding the person?
And we'll go through once again. We'll create, say something. We'll cover up that lower third down there with something that makes more sense. And maybe this will be day 1. And then he can say something like, and then we keep getting bothered, or we keep getting bugged to catch this.
Hey, you're the investigative journalist. You find the murderer. All right, settle down.
Well, he looks different than that guy. And I guess the cops kind of look different. But some of them kind of look the same, so they kind of have a similar look. So I think it's something we could get away with. I could just pretend they're giving daily pressers, and that's why the room changed, and that's why, you know, he looks more similar to the guy who was speaking before. I don't know, do they have the same voice?
All right, settle down, settle down. You, in the front.
It's been 3 weeks since this.
And then I'll have to, like, you know, his mouth wasn't moving, so I'll have to do, oh, his mouth moved a little bit, but it didn't start talking.
All right, settle down, settle down. You, in the front.
You know, I'll have to finagle that a little bit. And then how does his voice, see, he sounds like, he's a different guy.
Hey, you're the investigative journalist. You find the murderer.
guess he sounds a little different than the first guy. So maybe he'll be cop number 2. I think there's a way to finagle it, but at least I'm getting longer videos, figuring out how to put them together, how to get them to talk. So if you're using like the jump to, the jump to feature or the extend, here it sounds like you're not going to get a lot of dialogue. You'll have to remember what I did. You'll have to like kind of go back to your project, create a whole new one, and then add to scene. I mean, I was hoping jump to or extend would kind of help, but I'm kind of liking this scene builder, even though it's not intuitive. Let's see, I have to, how do you move this over? Whoa. Whoa. So many questions. Oh, you just do that. Okay. So I think the next time, the thing that did work, as we can see, was using the same detailed prompt over and over. So at least you have some consistencies with scenes. So that's obviously different from that room. Different cops, kind of, but it works still because it helps. I can just say, oh, it's a different day. It's a different day. These cops are there a different day, a different room, slightly different. So that's kind of how we can do this. I'm going to keep on until I'm able to get maybe 12 angry cops, like the title says. Alrighty, I hope this is helpful. Happy AI video creation.